Hey, what's up, guys? This is Isaac or Think Outside the Box here, and I'm just starting a new series on my channel in which I'll have a build I'm working on playing in the background. And while that is being built, I will start talking about certain characters from various things I've seen, because I am a huge fan of character analysis, and I've mentioned before that I'm working on a Minecraft roleplay series, and I have helped most of the people I think I've helped everyone so far who has designed a character with their character design, or rather their personality and stuff, not like the actual skin. But I am going to be talking about characters or related things in writing. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I've spoken about Ron already while I was recording, but I wasn't very happy with how Harry and Hermione's how my talking about them turned out, so I am just recording this now in post. So you'll have a time lapse of the build playing right now, and yeah, enjoy the video. So Harry Potter starts off in the book series where he is talked about as the first character, only person ever to survive the killing curse, and that is perhaps a perfect way to describe the start of Harry Potter's entire story, because he is basically the king of plot armor and fantasy stories. Many people, while designing their main characters, have designed them off of Harry Potter and other characters from the series, because Rowling did a great job with not necessarily all the characters themselves, as I greatly dislike Ron Weasley, as you'll find out later in this video, but with the world building and how the characters interact with each other. So Harry is generally a modest, kind, and caring character throughout the series. He is quite good at defense against the dark arts, as is seen when he's taught by competent teachers in books 3 and 4. And other than that and Quidditch, he is not really particularly shown to be amazing at anything else. He is reasonable per se. Not really at potions, but that's more because, or history of magic, but those two are more of the teacher, and divination's not really something that he can really force himself to be good at. So he is reasonably talented at a lot of things, which is fine, because I don't really like it when characters are all that overpowered. Like, obviously it makes sense that they're talented in their specific area, but Harry is a good example of a character with a fair amount of flaws to balance out with their strengths. He has, as is shown almost exclusively in book 5, slight problems with his emotions, which is mostly shown in book 5 because he shouts a lot in that one, much more than in any of the other books, and he also is supposed to learn occlumency from Professor Snape, but he finds it really hard to let go of his emotions while he is in that class. And his emotions is like one of his biggest weaknesses, but also one of his biggest strengths. And I love when writers do stuff like that, because it just sort of creates like a parallel between strengths and weaknesses, which is when a thing is both a strength and a weakness. Like, for example, Harry's love is what protects him from joining Voldemort, according to Dumbledore, and his overall, and also it helps him be like a hero, because love is a great magic. But on the other side, Harry gets really attached to people, which causes him to have, as Hermione put it, a bit of a saving people thing, which causes him to lose one of his closest loved ones. And yeah, that's most I have to say about Harry Potter. He is one other thing though is that he's overall a bit too tolerant, in my opinion, of certain people, in particular Ron Weasley, but I'll get more on that in Ron's section. Hermione Granger is more of the typical wizard or witch sort of character, where she is like extremely brilliant in like all the classes, and also like really smart, logical, and loyal and kind as well. She is she is a pretty cool character. She's my favorite of the trio because she is generally the most kind. She is usually right in what she says, unlike the other two. Whenever Harry and Ron get upset with Hermione, I'd say that almost every time Hermione is in the right in the situation, or neither of them are. It's just more about like what character is doing what, and Hermione is a kind and caring character who cares a lot about the other types of creatures. Like, for example, she cared a bit more about goblins than the average wizard. Like, only like Harry Potter, other than her, and like maybe like Bill, who actually works with goblins, and a few other characters perhaps, actually seem to like care about them, because there's a lot of conflict between the people who like grew up in actual wizard families and the goblins, because of how those two races actually fought a lot in their history. But Hermione in particular, Spew shows that she has a good care. But like, one of the main problems for Hermione, this is a problem that Harry does not have, is that she seems a bit too unflawed, because the only like Ron and people like Ron and other wizarding family people think that she's a bit weird for her obsession with house elves and stuff like that. But overall, that's not really a flaw. It just shows that she's really kindness, and the only people, and she's a bit she gets a bit closed-minded. But the problem with that claim is that the only people who really say so are the Lovegoods, and like almost everyone who would even agree with that claim often refers to them as like crazy and stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be. So then next we have Ron Weasley. So then let's go on to the character I'm probably gonna rant about the most, Ronald Weasley. I do not like that guy at all. He is like the worst friend. In the entire series, in my opinion. Like, someone like Draco Malfoy would have made a better friend for Harry, and it honestly seems like they could have been if they weren't both so stubborn. But like, on the other hand, Ron, the only reason that Harry is friends with Ron is because Ron was the first person of his age that Harry really met. That's what I believe, because Ron is the one who like always causes problems between Harry and his other close friends. Like for example, Ron and Hermione fight all the time, but almost every single time they fight, it's pretty clear that Hermione is the one who's in the right in their situation, if one of them even is. And Ron just seems to get like overly emotional about the stupidest things. He always just like complains. He's really rude and bullies a lot of characters who I actually really like, such as Neville. He is more of a bully to Neville Longbottom than any of the Slytherins ever were. It's like really hard. And you know what? I've actually tried to find a single nice thing that Ron has said after book like 4, maybe 5. And it's just like, any of the ones that even come close to a nice thing are kind of iffy. Like, for example, he's like, "We are on your side, Harry." Oh, well, how long is that going to last for you, who changes your mind every other week? Because, like, end of book 6, Ron's second to last line, he's like, "We're with you, Harry, no matter what." Well, let's look at the Deathly Hallows and see how long his no matter what lasted, huh? Ron Weasley is just like the most inconsistent character, but then for some reason Harry just really likes him when there's so many characters who would just be a better friend overall. Like, I would say that the best contribution, like the only major contribution that people keep mentioning in Harry Potter is in the Sorcerer's Stone, where he defeats McGonagall's chess set. Congratulations, Ron. You defeated like the third or fourth to last obstacle in the first book of the entire series. Good job. I hope you're feeling proud of yourself. Seriously, no one is saying that. Because it just doesn't make sense to say so. Like, he doesn't really do all that much anyway. What Ron's real biggest contribution, in my opinion, is the fact that he became Harry's best friend and helped Harry meet the rest of the Weasleys, all of whom I like better than Ron. Yes, even Percy. For me, Ron has basically gotten to a point where I might even consider Umbridge a character I like more. Not because she's, like, nicer than Ron, because even Ron's not that bad. But more because, like, she's just better written as a whole, because Ron is basically so inconsistent, and I just do not like characters who would backstab a friend. The only thing I really feel like I agree with on Ron is that the fact that being afraid of spiders is perfectly normal. And really, I don't know what else to say. Like, good job, Ron. And half the time that Ron, like, actually solves problems in the later books, he does it, like, by accident. Like, you could even ask him, he's like, I didn't mean to do that. For example, when he saved an amazing Quidditch shot in a practice, he's like, I slipped off my broom when you all weren't looking and then kicked it by accident. And while there's nothing wrong with doing that, it just seems like he just has too many lucky accidents that the writer is basically trying to justify that he is a friend and a helpful character. But, like, he never does anything really on purpose. He always just gets extremely moody about everything. And yeah, honestly, I might just upload the Ron part because I didn't really have anything interesting to say because I don't really have strong opinions about Harry and Hermione's characters. But I feel like Ron Weasley, he's just never consistently going to support Harry. Like, let's say, for example, Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, sure, he supported Harry. Congratulations, Ron. You supported Harry for 2 straight books. Prisoner of Azkaban. Ron and Harry both agreed to fight against Hermione, which is mostly because of Ron's choices of going against Hermione. And Harry just did against her for a short period, but then forgives her much quicker than Ron does. And while I'm not saying that Harry is right in that situation, it's just Ron is just not good. Book 4. Harry gets his name to come out of the Goblet of Fire. Harry clearly doesn't believe it. And Ron's just like, well, I would have wished you told me that you'd put your name in. I could have put mine in too. I'm sure the goblet would have chosen me over Harry Potter. Well, no, he wasn't thinking that. But he is, like, so at the Quidditch World Cup, first of all, he keeps taking the family's owl and using him without permission. I mean, sure, he didn't there, but he did in book 3. And then he, for the Quidditch World Cup, when he paid Harry back for the Omnioculars with Leprechaun Gold by mistake and didn't know it vanished, he was really moody about how Harry didn't notice that the galleons went missing, because when Harry had a lot of other things he was worrying about. And Ron just overall is just really, annoying. Like, seriously, he apparently believed that Harry did not put his own name in the Goblet of Fire, like, pretty quickly after that. But despite that, he still didn't go to support Harry until after Harry had performed spectacular in the first round. Like, what, if Harry hadn't performed spectacular in the first round, do you think Ron would have gone back to Harry that quickly? Or no, he just suddenly wanted to be great friends with Harry Potter now that Harry was doing well and popular again. Book 7, right after he said, "We're with you, Harry, no matter what," at the end of Book 6, he literally leaves Harry like halfway through. Sure, he was slightly being influenced by the Horcrux at the time, but you know what? Harry and Hermione were taking turns wearing it too, and Ron just... And sure, Ron decided to come back and save Harry's life, but like, he wouldn't have done so. He said literally when he came back and revealed it was from the Deluminator that Dumbledore gave him, that he said that he must have known I'd run out on you. And Harry said, no, he knew you would always want to come back. No, he did know that you would run out on him. That was very clear based on like what had happened. Alright guys, so that was the first part in my potential series in which I talk about character analysis. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more, and see you guys next time. Join my Discord server in the description.